connected.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Woodzman Adventures. Today I'm just out doing a little ride down around Roaring River State Park, and I thought, I'll stop and do the 4,000 mile review on this thing. I'm just about a little bit over 4,050 miles, I think. I already done my 4,000 mile oil change. I had done my 600 mile oil change already, and then, but the bike. I can't say much more than I love this bike. It is so much fun, so much power. It handles real good. It does good off-road. It's just my dream bike. And, ever since they come out with the Africa Twin, I wanted one. And, of course, I wanted the red one, which is what I ended up getting. And I ride it every day back and forth to work. There was maybe I missed one day, maybe 2 days not riding it to work, but just about every day I ride it to work, unless I need to use my pickup for something. So, but the bike is overall just wonderful. I love the sound of the exhaust. I haven't yet got any protection yet. I've not got nothing but the stock skid plates so far. I haven't got the crash bars, which I had already laid it over once and crashed it, but you see a little boogered up spot right there. I replaced this hand guard and this mirror because I scuffed the mirror up and cracked the hand guard, so I replaced it. But other than that, not the bike's fault, that's my fault. Had to adjust the chain once. I really like it. I like the suspension. Suspension does good. Handles real good. Wheelies real good. That's not a problem. Just pretty much about everything about it I like it. Riding 2-up with my wife, it is so comfortable compared to the 250L. When you're riding 2-up, that seat's a whole lot more comfortable. So, yeah, I really, really like the bike. I have adjusted the spokes. And mileage on fuel, I think I've been getting about 52 is average. 52, 53 is my average fuel mileage. So it does real good on fuel. Not as good as a 250, but, that's 50, 52, 53 miles a gallon is not much to complain about. So I like that. I've added a few things. The Magellan TRX7 is wonderful for off-road maps, and when they get the on-road navigation, that'll even make it a lot better. Fits real good. I like the size of it because it's big enough you don't have no problem seeing it. I made a special mount for it myself to mount it on this little windshield bar. But the tires are actually wearing pretty good. 4,000 miles on the tires, and they're still pretty good. I don't know how many I'll get out of them. We'll find out. And then, of course, I did mount a drift camera right there that I use because it has a dash cam mode. And I've got it set up, mounted here, where I can take it off. And plugged into USB. So whenever I start the bike, it automatically comes on and starts recording. I shut the bike off. It records. That's why it's recording now. As you can see, it just now shut off. It goes 5 minutes after you shut it off, and it shuts off. So, but the bike has been super. Ergonomics is great. Got a real good feel. Bike's kind of dirty right now, but brakes are excellent brakes. The sound of it, I love the sound of this bike. It's a extremely cool sound to it, that growl that it has. And I did add the center stand, which is a real big plus to be able to adjust your spokes or whatever. And it's real nice for that, cleaning and lubing your chain. Works real good because you can put it on the center stand, spin the tire when it's not in gear, and clean the chain. It's real handy for that. So I do have the factory Honda Panniers that goes on here. Clips in, they lock on, and they are keyed to the same key right here. The same key fits the Panniers to lock them and take them off, so that's real nice. And but overall, I really love the bike. I have no complaints. There is some things that people complain about that they don't like the traction control, and you know, you have to, every time you start the bike, you have to reset your traction control if you want it turned off or whatever setting you had it on. But I don't mess with it much unless I'm off-road, and I just turn it off. The ABS works great on this thing. I actually have only turned it off like once, and all it does when you turn it off is turn off the rear. It don't turn off the front. Because probably a good idea, because you don't really want your front tire locking up, especially on gravel, real slick stuff, so it keeps it from locking. But other than that, everything's good. I mean, the oil change, you know, the oil was clean both times. It never was as bad as some bikes that I've done. The first oil change is real nasty. This one is actually really pretty clean for the first oil change. So, got just over, let me look, see how many miles we got. Okay, 4,058. I knew I was somewhere around in there on the miles. So, that's not bad. Close to 4,000. I do got the Nelson Rig tail bag on here. It's really nice, small and compact for just my local running back and forth to work. I don't need a huge bunch of bags on it. I usually only put the Panniers on if I'm going somewhere on a trip, or me and my wife ride together on a trip, because we can put our jackets and stuff in that, and makes it real handy to carry stuff. So the rear tire, you can see the wear on it, and that's with several miles. I don't know how many miles of gravel road I've got, but I've rode a lot of gravel road so far, and it's really wearing real good. It's not the greatest traction for off-road, that's for sure. It does fine just if you're idling around down gravel roads. I wouldn't want to get crazy with it or go into any extreme off-road, because it's just not enough traction for that. But just to ride around on roads and then take off on a gravel road and cut through the country, you can do that just fine with these tires. I just caution you to be careful, because it's not a dual sport with big old knobby tires on it, but you can get some real good knobby tires to put on these. The headlights at night on this thing are unreal how bright they are. You can see with these headlights. They are wonderful. And like I say, the suspension on this thing is great. I've not ever adjusted the front suspension. Basically, when my wife rides, I will crank it up a few clicks on this rear shock. Actually, when she rides, it seems good to me if I crank it up about 8 clicks, and then when I'm not riding with her, I just remember 8 and I click it back, and it makes a nice ride for me by myself, and to handle more weight. So if I was to haul her and the Panniers and we had a lot of weight on it, then I want to crank it up quite a bit more. But 8 clicks seems to do the trick for what I need and what I'm riding. Usually when she's riding, we don't do anything but paved roads and some back roads too, gravel roads, but not ledge, rocks, and log jumping or nothing like that. So I am extremely happy with this bike. I am looking to get a rear cargo rack, and the crash bars I want to get on there. I'd like to get the hand guards that go on here, leave these on, and just the ones that cover this, the pipe hand guards, them would be great. And these do a super job blocking the wind off. One nice thing about this bike compared to the 250L is I've been riding like this morning, it was 32 degrees. and riding into work, that windshield blocks enough wind. It's a huge difference. You know how usually you freeze your neck off? Well, that thing blocks all the wind off your neck, and you don't freeze your neck near as bad as on the 250L with all that wind hitting you. So that part's pretty good. I like that. But I like everything about it. I'd like to change those foot pegs, put on some aftermarket foot pegs, something with a little wider footprint. I'm getting used to them now, and they seem to be okay. I never did take the rubber out. I just left it in. You can take that rubber out of them, but I decided to just leave it in. But I'd like to get some wider ones put on there. Other than that, I'm extremely happy with the bike. I can't think of anything else that I'd like to do, you know, other than protection. So I did put the carbon fiber fender extender on here on the front fender to keep the rocks, and it did make a huge difference on how much mud and rocks throws up on the front of the bike. So now this in here is actually real carbon fiber. It's not plastic with carbon fiber sticker. It's the real deal. But the clutch has been great. Haven't had to adjust the clutch. It's still great. Free play. Works great. But anyway, that's just a quick 4,000 mile review of the 2016 Honda Africa Twin. Super bike. I definitely give it a big thumbs up. It's a blast to ride, and that's for sure. And it turns heads. A lot of people like looking at the bike. So I really thank y'all for watching Woodzman Adventures. If you're not a subscriber of mine, you like Africa Twin stuff, outdoor stuff, please click subscribe on the channel. Click the thumbs up on this video and all of my videos. But thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.